Imagine a world where humans simply disappear. No crowded cities, no laughter, no music, no internet, just one massive world filled with water, and one little cat doing its best to survive at the end of it all. Sounds simple, right? Well, not really. Today, let's dive into the 2024 adventure fantasy animated movie Flow, that quiet animated masterpiece that emotionally destroyed audiences across the world. And here's the wildest part. This film has almost zero dialogue, yet somehow people walked out of theaters crying harder than they do after most live-action dramas. So why is everyone obsessed with this cat movie? And what does that haunting ending actually mean? Grab your favorite snacks, because this isn't just animation, it's pure visual storytelling magic. The movie starts with a black cat living alone in a huge deserted world. And right away, something feels off. There are houses, boats, statues, but no humans, not a single one. The movie never explains where they went. There are no opening credits, no scientific explanations, no Marvel-style multiverse collapse, just silence. And honestly, that silence makes the movie 10 times creepier. Your mind immediately starts trying to fill in the blanks. Then, out of nowhere, water. Massive floods sweep across forests, buildings, and entire landscapes. The animation here is absolutely mind-blowing. The water effects are so realistic that sometimes it barely even feels animated. The cat barely escapes and eventually finds safety on a small drifting boat. And from this point on, the movie slowly transforms into a survival thriller. Our furry little survivor eventually meets other animals along the journey. A loyal Labrador, a quirky lemur, a peaceful capybara, and a giant mysterious bird that honestly feels like it knows the secrets of the universe. Together, they form this strange little family focused on one thing: survival. And this is what made the movie a worldwide hit. There's barely any dialogue. Nobody says, "Hey guys, we need to work together." There are no dramatic villain speeches, no emotional monologues. Everything is told through eye contact, body language, silence, fear, and trust. And somehow it feels even more emotional than movies packed with endless dialogue. One single expression from the cat tells you everything. Fear, loneliness, curiosity, pain. That's genuinely top-tier filmmaking. Now, on the surface, this looks like a simple survival story. But underneath, the movie is really talking about humanity itself. Each animal represents a different survival instinct. The cat represents independence and isolation. The dog represents loyalty and trust. The lemur represents greed and emotional dependency. The capybara represents peace and emotional balance. And that giant bird? It almost feels spiritual, like nature itself quietly watching the world reset. And the movie constantly asks one question: can we truly survive without connection? And by the end, that question hits hard. Now let's talk about some of the movie's most haunting scenes. The underwater cities. Wow. These moments genuinely feel like wandering through the ruins of a dead civilization. You see giant statues submerged underwater, broken buildings, half-destroyed homes, and entire landscapes swallowed by the flood. And because there's almost no dialogue, your brain starts desperately trying to understand what happened. Was it climate change? Human extinction? A global flood? Did nature reset the Earth? The movie never gives you a clear answer, and honestly, that mystery is exactly why people can't stop talking about it online. And then there's that scene, when the animals discover the abandoned ship floating silently in the middle of nowhere. The entire atmosphere changes, the soundtrack becomes eerie, the lighting turns cold, and suddenly the movie starts feeling less like fantasy and more like psychological horror. You keep expecting a jump scare, but the scary part isn't what's there, it's what isn't there. No humans, no voices, no life, just traces of people who used to exist. That scene alone is probably responsible for thousands of TikTok theories. At the beginning of the movie, the cat is completely alone. It doesn't trust anyone. It believes survival means depending only on itself. But slowly, through the journey, that changes. The animals begin helping each other, sharing food, protecting one another, saving each other from drowning. And without using many words at all, the movie quietly delivers one beautiful message: independence might help you survive, but connection gives survival meaning. And that is why this movie hits people emotionally. Because underneath all the flood symbolism, Flow is really a story about loneliness. Now let's talk about that ending. After everything they survived together, they finally reach dry land. And for a brief moment, everything feels peaceful. But then comes the final reflection shot. The cat looks into the water and sees itself differently. Not as the isolated creature from the beginning of the film, but as someone completely changed by the journey. And this is what the ending truly means. The flood didn't just destroy the world. It washed away fear, ego, and emotional isolation. The cat survives physically, but emotionally it becomes something new. That's why so many audiences cried at the ending. It's not tragic. It's transformative. Honestly, Flow became such a huge success for one simple reason: it respects the audience. The movie doesn't over-explain everything. It trusts visuals, it trusts emotion, and it trusts silence. And in a world where so many films constantly explain every tiny detail, that feels incredibly refreshing. Plus, the animation is absolutely stunning. Almost every single frame looks like a painting. This is exactly the kind of movie YouTube creators love talking about because every scene is filled with symbolism, hidden meaning, emotional depth, and visual storytelling. It's basically perfect for analysis videos. So let me ask you, what do you think happened in this world? Did humans go extinct? Or did nature intentionally erase them? And which animal did you connect with the most? The independent cat? The loyal dog? Or the greedy lemur? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoy deep movie breakdowns like this, covering psychological films and hidden endings, disturbing stories, emotional masterpieces, and mind-bending cinema, make sure to subscribe right now, because next time, we might dive into a movie even scarier than this one. Until then, respect nature, trust your instincts, and take care. See you later.